hate squats. Hello everybody, so this is my gym. This is where I push my limits and try and make myself better away from the track and obviously get myself ready for the season. And yeah, this is a day in the life video for Slater.
Let's kick this one off with the first question. What's your favorite thing about racing?
Good question. I think my favourite thing about racing is there's two things. There's the speed, and driving a car is obviously my favourite thing to do. That's why I've decided to do it for my career. But then the other thing is that it's making people, like becoming the greatest at something. It's something I've always wanted to be in any sport, but I found racing, and then suddenly I'm a little bit out of breath from the gym. But I just think becoming the greatest of all time, like in that certain sport, and like really pushing on, especially in such a high risk sport, and against such high competition. So when you do beat the high competition, it just gives you so much more satisfaction. So my training routine is mixed, depending on what I do. Normally after a flight or after a weekend, it'd be normally a run to get the legs moving, get a bit of recovery in at a slow pace. And then a couple of days after, like the day after, would be whole body, neck. So depending on my weeks, if I get a week off, still pretty full on. I normally don't get multiple days at home, I only get like a couple. So training is normally quite high volume on those certain days. It's a mix of whole body, upper body, lower body, depending on sort of weeks I've got. Obviously neck is super important. Interval sessions, and obviously steady state runs, and core. And also super important is flexibility. It's something I'm really starting to work on over the last couple of years, because flexibility is so important. Mate, Alessandro's on the masterpiece.
Did I come here to work out or to film you?
I'm coming to just check myself out. What do you think?
My boy's smashing 50 kilos here. Good stuff. Front squat.
That's poor from me. Poor from me. Slater family branding. Love it. Love to see it. Painted that when I was 5 years old.
Do you have any racing idols?
Oh, good question. For me, like, I try and just be myself as much as possible. Try and just be who I've been brought up to be from my family. But also I do see certain characteristics in certain races, like Le Mans 24 hours. Like, I've watched a few documentaries back on some of the old races in Le Mans, and it's mental, the focus they had to have. And I think there's key things that I take from other people, but I don't take a general attitude and try and focus on somebody else. I try and be myself as much as possible. You know how good it is there.
What's your favorite exercise to do?
Upper body, for sure. No, I do like core, because core you can actually see a bit of the difference. Like, obviously it's nice to also look in shape, of course, and have the performance effect of it as well. So upper body.
What do you prefer, chest, back, arms, shoulders?
I do like shoulders or lats. Somehow I've got quite good lats, I'm not sure where they came from. I can't lie, because I seem to just have good back, I guess.
Good genetics.
Yeah, good genetics, I guess. A lot of people wind me up about my back. Like, I could take off if I ran fast enough or something like this. So it's yeah, no, good genetics, that's for sure. Legs I struggle a little bit more with, just more the stability. But other than that, no, I enjoy it all. But also neck is quite fun actually. It's weird because it's such a precious part of your body that you're looking after, of course, in the car. And for me, it's when you have a big neck, it's quite nice. So
look yoked.
Yeah, it's nice to, of course, just get the performance out of it, but also look fit at the same time, basically.
Did you find you had to work your neck a lot after karting going into Formula cars?
No, because karting is so much more physical than people think. Due to just people, the reason why it looks so easy is because kids have been brought up since they were age of 5, age of 7, all the way through karting. So it just develops year by year. But because I did it when I started at 5 years old, I think it was, I kind of developed that straight away. So in karting, I knew the physicality was there, but it never really challenged me that much. Obviously, if you went to places like Le Conque, everyone was a little bit like, okay, this is harder than anywhere else we've been before. So it's kind of a bit of a different thing. So when I jumped in the Formula, I could grab hold of it and focus on my driving technique instead of having to worry about being fit enough, which is quite good because the more focus you can have on driving fast, the better. Just jumping in on the sim, or a little F1 test.
All right, getting ready.
Yeah, none of the F4. We could do F4 Masano actually, but I don't want to give anything away to anyone.
All right.
Practice anything, so I'll keep that to myself.
That's a good picture, isn't it? I remember that one.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yes, it's not a bad picture, good memory to be fair. Obviously, OK Senior, OTK managed to win all the races, so all the podium spots. So, and then I managed to win in my first year. So it was a pretty mental couple of hours that was.
I remember that.
Waking up in the morning, seeing the rain, I knew that what it meant. I knew I could do a good job at that point, and obviously being British, I knew I could do well in the rain. So yeah, we actually lacked a little bit of pace, which kind of was a little bit annoying at that time when I look back on it, but we managed to win in the end, so it was obviously great. But the emotions, because obviously RFM, I think they won it 2 years in a row then, maybe 3 years. So
the year before as well.
Keeping that streak going was super important to them, and yeah, obviously couldn't have done it without Ricky Flynn in the motorsport, obviously being a huge part of my journey so far. So there'll always be someone, hopefully if I do make it to Formula One and achieve my dreams, there'll always be somebody I'll always thank when I get there, hopefully. Look
at this rig, man. Who built this one?
Yeah, so this is called Performance, so massive thank you to them. Obviously Ollie Norris sorting it out, and yeah, massive thank you to them, because it means I can be best prepped away from the track, and then when I get on track, hopefully I can be the most prepped out of everyone. Been with me since day one, to be fair, so. Oh, they need to update their track model. This is the old Barcelona. This is a chicane pretty much every F1 driver ever hated. Flat through there, lovely. So everybody, this is kind of a bit of a taken back in time. So this was my very first helmet. Not the first one actually, the one that I used when I started competing. Brings back a lot of memories, to be fair. I remember turning up to Fusion though, and they said as soon as I got there I needed an arrow eye, so I went to buy a straight arrow eye just due to the aperture, because that is a lot thinner compared to that. So that was the reason why we got that. And then obviously this was my dad's helmet when he used to race, so the first helmet I probably tried when I got on a motorbike or something. And then this is obviously quite a special trophy, European Championship, OK Junior, final race in Zuera. It was a tough final, obviously battling with some people that I'm battling with now, and even my teammates in Prema, so yeah, it's pretty special. So we're at Silverstone Golf Club, 2 minutes from the track, so it's perfect. Little 9 holes.
This is your best hobby, isn't it? You love golf.
Keeps me busy. Takes 4 hours out of the day, so it's pretty nice when you're not doing anything. So
when did you arrive here?
7 a.m. It's been worth it. The first 2-3 holes were good, and then after it got a bit shaky, and then now we're back to it, so we'll see.
Here's Boydie. Ciao Boydie, how are you?
How are you?
All good?
Yeah, very good, very cold. Hence I've got the RFM Snood.
Always with the team.
From 2012.
Who's winning the match?
No, we're not really sure yet. We'll find out this last hole.
Got Danny in the back. Hello, Danny.
You alright, mate? All good?
Oh, where are you taking us?
It's time to Dalfy.
Yes, please. Don't. Okay. Tires are warm. You don't need to do that, man.
Alright, watch this.
No.
See that curve?
No, I don't want to. No, don't do it.
So, somebody asked me what's the number one
advice
you'd give to a karting dad. I think is from Jack Eilif's dad. Yeah, so it's quite interesting actually. I think obviously a lot of dads get involved and a lot of families get involved, but I think it's super important to employ the right people and then leave them to do their job. Obviously keep a bird's eye view, let's say, on it, and make sure you're doing the right job and looking after your son, of course, or daughter. But at the end of the day, it's important to let the professionals do their job, and you just, at the end of the day, is just be there to comfort them and be there to support and not get too emotionally involved. So I think that's my biggest advice.
All right, we're checking more questions. Did you find an interesting one?
Yeah, so somebody asked me when I'm sitting on the crew grid what goes through my mind, and at that moment in time, I'm not really doing too much. I'm probably visualising a little bit what I'm planning to do that race, maybe, or qualifying session, or practice, of course. What else do I think about? I don't really think about that much. It's all about feel racing. If you got to feel the rhythm, you got to be in a flow state. You just got to be fast, and naturally it will come. So you can't overthink it too much. And as soon as you start overthinking, that's where it goes wrong. So I'm quite calm and composed on the pre-grid.
I think this is definitely something people have to practice.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe it's in my genetics. At a young age, I was quite calm and collected on the grid before any important race or any race. So it's kind of just been how it has been since I started my career. So it's kind of something I've just got built in me, I guess.
Yeah, I can tell. I've always seen you being very, very calm on the grid.
Yeah, I like to have a bit of a joke on the grid as well. Obviously, people sometimes ask me, are you focusing? Are you nervous? And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm only doing the best job I can. Like, it's the only thing I can do is give my absolute best. And as long as I know when I leave the weekend on Sunday night that I've given my absolute best. So it's, most of the time I'm pretty chilled. Here in Misano, it's Friday afternoon, get ready for quali. Thought I'd show you around. So we got a few bits here. We've got everybody's nice sweaty clothes all drying out. Obviously everyone's very tidy in here, of course, especially me. Wet helmet because there's chances of rain. Dry helmet, get some air in it. Obviously everybody's helmets all get some air in. Then we have our drawers. See, I like to think mine's quite nicely packed. Speaker. We love the tunes, don't we, Dion? Do we love the tunes, Dion?
Tunes are not good.
Tunes are not good, apparently. Appalling. This is obviously where all the magic happens. Obviously mechanics take good care of our cars. We're just getting ready for quality now, so some of the cars are getting weight and ride height checks. Just make sure they're all, including mine, just make sure it's all legal, which it is. Then if I take you around the back, this is the good bit. This is the good bit. This is the good part. This is the legend behind the food. What's your name?
Giacomo.
This is Giacomo. This is Giacomo. He cooks probably the best food. Look, what we got here?
We have veal. Veal is
Veal. We've got a bit of veal going on here, ready for dinner. So the team take great care of us, make sure we're all nutritionally prepped for the qualifying, aren't we? So ready for quali?
Yeah.
Let's go. As we can see a wild Alex Powell.
What's up? Who are you?
Good question. This is where all the parts are kept, tyres, radios, all equipment. Then in here is more compartments, and then upstairs is where we do the data to try and find more lap time and be the best we can be. And that's it. That's the tour of Prema. So we've got a couple more questions from you guys. But one was saying, what do you do to prepare for a race? And preparation starts many weeks in advance. We probably start so early on. We do sim sessions, test days, a couple of weeks in advance to get fully prepped for the job in hand. And we have multiple sim sessions, maybe at sometimes depending on the track and depending like the sort of calendar we have. If we're going to multiple tracks in a short amount of time, we'll do a lot of time on the sim. Eat well, sleep well, train well. The upcoming weeks before that, get on the flight, get here, normally track walk, look at some good data laps and reference laps, focus on the job in hand, obviously get to bed well, get to bed at a good time, because it's normally quite early start, so it's quite hard to switch off after you've had a full-on day and then having to wake up at 6 a.m. or what we're waking up at, so because the starts are so early, so it's quite hard to switch off after the day. But then it's just we eat well, we try and eat nutritious food, make sure we're fully loaded, much energy as possible, and then we just focus on the job in hand. This is my wagon. the chariot, as I like to call it. So another one of you guys asked, what's my favourite condition to drive in? Slicks in the rain. Slicks in the rain is my go-to. I love wet driving. I love the wet. I love wets. I don't really like wets in the drying track because the amount of degradation we have when it's drying out is incredible with a wet tire on a drying track. So it's not my favourite condition, but slicks in the rain, it's just slicks in the rain with half conditions. It's all about tyre temp. You just got to be on limit. The kid that's driving the fastest the way around the track on that first out lap, and the rest is normally the fastest kid out there. So I can't explain to anyone how much I love that sort of condition. All right, so everybody, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much everybody for watching. Remember, like and subscribe. More content. If you have any more questions, please feel free to comment, and I'm going to try and keep answering them as I go throughout the year. And yeah, thank you very much for all the support, and we continue to grow, and hopefully I'll keep delivering the results for you guys. So yeah, thank you very much.